Hey guys, King of Charmanders here. Today I'll be your judge, your jury, and your analyst. And today I bring to you the video and the team that got me to Legend. Plus 400 points in the Kanto Cup. This team actually isn't anything new. I actually used it for the last Kanto Cup, so just a few moves have changed. And if you can build the lead for this team, then it will do really well for you if you play pretty dang... It's a pretty dang strong team against a lot of the Kanto Cup, the current combination and the current patterns you see. So I'll give you tips on how to lose the lead, on what to do if you lose the lead, what if you win the lead, and against certain mons and scenarios. But this team did give me plus 400 points to take me to Legend. Kanto Cup has always been my best cup, and as you see here, it satisfyingly got me directly smack down on 3,000 elo to make Legend on Veterans Day. Yes, I'm a veteran, United States Air Force. Yes, I've served my country, and now I am a legend. Well, I was already a legend, but now I am a legend for Season 9. And without further ado, let me show you the team, and let's get started. Alright, so here's the team. It is Alolan Sandshrew level 50. I played heavily during the early days of Pokemon Go, so from like 2000, like the beginning of the game, what, 2016 to like 2019, I think. So during that time, I played so heavily that I had enough Sandshrew candy to convert to XLs and get an XL Alolan Sandshrew. For those of you that watch me stream on the previous season, I already had all the candy put together, so it's really just a ton of grinding. But the other two aren't XL. It's your usual Hypno, but Alolan Muck with Poison Jab, Dark Pulse, and Acid Spray. The difference I had from the previous season versus this season was that I used Snarl and Sludge Wave instead of Poison Jab. With Poison Jab, you have a better matchup against Charmers in the back. And I like Acid Spray because you could bait shield, or you can set up plays to where you could do confusion damage or set up Night Slashes for more damage. So there's a lot of things you could do with Alolan Muck. What's kind of difficult is sometimes you might want a Dark Pulse, and when you don't Dark Pulse, it's the time when you were supposed to Dark Pulse. So just keep that in mind. However, this is Hypno as your safe switch, and Amuk will close out. I'll say this later, however, if you do see, if they throw a Lickitung, or if they throw a Lickitung into you, or a Snorlax as a safe switch, send in Alolan Muck, because Alolan Muck has a really safe matchup in the 2-shield. You can straight Dark Pulse or Acid Spray, and you'll win out the matchup, so just keep that in mind. Most of the time, just straight Dark Pulse. It's the safer play. So if you do see a Licker as your safe switch, straight Dark Pulse to victory. Otherwise, if you see like a Lapras, Machamp, or a Alolan Marowak, lose the lead, switch to Hypno, and try to win back switch. Break as many shields as you can, or do as much damage so that you can farm down with Ashrew or Amuk, or leave your opponents with no shields. As you see, this team is very skill-based. It doesn't have really great stats. The bulk factor is really bad just because Alolan Sandshrew isn't the bulkiest thing in the world. It's not super safe because your back row is very weak to like Nidoqueen or like Amuk itself. Not necessarily super weak, but then if you end up on like Amuk action, it's not super great. If they have Snarl, they can have more play with you just because they can fire more charge moves faster because of Snarl, or possibly getting Snarls through. Not super consistent outside of the boost, just because Hypno is slow, Poison Jab is resisted by a lot of combinations, and of course you have Ashrew. So despite this team can and has taken me to Legends, and it's doing pretty well for a lot of my other viewers, a lot of my other subscribers. They're like, oh, this team is great. Well, if you're on my Discord, you see my secrets early because I like talking with you guys on there. So join the Discord if you want to speak to the King of Charmanders, or if you have any questions. I don't pay for coaching services or questions. I literally give free advice. Just ask in Discord, and I'll get back to you, or someone else will. Anyways, as you see here, Alolan Sandshrew is incredibly powerful against the Lickitung and Chansey meta. It beats out both XLs in the lead. Just be mindful of Chansey, because if you don't boost, it really sucks. In the 2-shield, what happens here is that if you don't boost, it really sucks. So here's Chansey in the 2-shield. If Chansey hits a Hyper Beam through shield, it can put you in a really bad spot. So most of the time, what you're going to do is either you're going to Triple Blizzard, as you see here. Triple Blizzard will take out Chansey very comfortably. Make sure you vary it, though. So then, like, Blizzard, usually the first Blizzard will go through, then Night Slash, then Blizzard, then Night Slash. You can win straight Night Slash, but it's very, very iffy, as you see here. it's very, very... If you have to boost in one of these combinations if you're going to win out this matchup. Otherwise, Chansey can beat you out just because it will hyper beam you. So if you apply the buff, see if you get one debuff through these 8 Night Slashes, you can take out this match. But you need the boost in one fashion. So like here, you see if I don't boost there, if I boost here and apply the debuff over here, then you basically win out. But you have to boost within like the first... I think you have to boost within the first 6. Otherwise, you lose the matchup. So triple Blizzard or boost your way to victory against Chansey. Against Lickitung, you're a little more safer. Lickitung XL, this is why you're such a beast. You do resist both Body Slam and Power Whip. So if you update it... Oh, right. Hold on. Nope. Take this out. Take out Sandbox Mode. Then hit Battle. Then you hit the 2 shield. As you see, Lickitung loses straight Night Slash. 3 turns of difference can flip the scenario, though. So be very careful of how you fire and when you fire. So you usually will win this matchup straight up if it's just a straight Lickitung versus Aishu matchup like you'll see in the shoutcast, but usually in that scenario, be very careful because if they throw Lickitung into you, those extra 3 licks can actually like flip this matchup. So just be very careful. Other than that, the team is very strong, very powerful. Again, you lose the lead, say switch into Hypno and close out with Amuk. If you do see a licker, switch into Amuk instead, straight Dark Pulse to victory. This team doesn't have a lot of holes other than getting hard countered. If you boost, it's amazing. And there's a lot of scenarios where with Blizzard Aishru, you can take the matchup. For example, if you get a Snorlax and you Blizzard it, it will most of the time one-shot. Or an Amuk, it will most of the time, it will one-shot. Lose the lead, say switch in Hypno, Muck against the Lickers. And without further ado, let's get this shoutcast started. Alright, so here are the battles. Here's my first battle against a fellow legend. So, this is going to be an example of what you do when you see an Alolan Muck. As you see, we see the lead, we win the lead, and then here we go with the Alolan Muck. And now we will recklessly make this person, our battler, or whichever one you call it, feel the power of the epic Alolan Shrew after we eat the Dark Pulse. So I will eat the Dark Pulse on purpose here, just to make them think like, okay, he's just sacking Alolan Sandshrew. And then what I'm actually trying to do is I'm about to pull out Game of Thrones. We're about to pull up to the first episode, the best episode in the world, and you are about to feel the power of the North. Here comes a Blizzard through 2 shields, and that's GG's. That's basically the only way you could really play out of Alolan Muck, though. Alolan Muck is a really hard place to be out of. I'll switch out of Alolan Sandshrew and into Hypno. Because our opponent switched so fast, their switch clock's still going, and this means our Hypno can just confusion down. I'll eat the Rock Slide. Hypno's pretty tanky. If you're using the Shadow version, you can still hit a Rock Slide. I shield anyways just because I'm like, I don't know if I'm just wanted to preserve Hypno a little bit and have all this energy. Because we have a Dragonair anyways, and we still have a whole Amuk in the back. And as you see, that's GG's. But like I mentioned, if you see a Alolan Muck, just go straight Blizzard. We win the lead. Same situation here. We have us Hypno, and then guess what they're going to switch into? As you see, you want to be a little careful when you do Hypno, though. As you see here, I'm timing my Powder Snows so that I don't let them get that extra confusion through. It's okay to go a little over. It's worth it just so they don't get that little extra energy, because if Hypno's carrying Fire Punch, it can be a little dicey. As you see here, they elect to eat it. I will shield. I always shield the first one. Just even if it's Thunder Punch, it's better than eating a Fire Punch, because Fire Punch will basically OKO you. So just be very careful. Now I'm going to, as you see, I'm gathering a ton of energy here, and they throw in their Muck. Say switch. And you already know that King of Charmanders is insane. He's crazy. He's absolutely goated. And I'm going to make you feel the power of the worst season of Game of Thrones, which was the last one, by the way. Don't watch it. But as you see, it's like we literally just Blizzard through shields, and this Amuk has such great IVs, that it doesn't OKO. But that's okay, because all we're going to do is Night Slash our life away here. Our little Alolan Sandshrew is doing so much work, and this is why I love level 50 Aishrew. I run Blizzard for this sole purpose. Most of the time, they won't shield. But that's why if you see an Amuk, just eat the first one. Just like 9 times out of 10, they'll think, okay, they're just sacking Alolan Sandshrew in the lead. And then, boom, Blizzard happens, and then it's GG's. Now we get a Alolan Muck here. Our opponent just elects to quit out. GG's, fellow legend, but the Blizzard is just way too strong. So again, if you see Amuk, that's the way you play out of Amuk. Just straight Blizzard. If they shield it, you're in a rough spot, but it was your basic... You have a mirror and you have Hypno, so it's really the only play you got. So just Blizzard through shields. Next up, we got a winning lead. If you have Mew versus Alolan Sandshrew, which you'll see a lot actually, you just straight Night Slash. Remember, it's 5 Shadow Claws to a Surf for their Mew. So you can eat one Wild Charge, but just be really careful. I would throw the first Night Slash right away. If you boost, protect the Alolan Sandshrew at all costs. So, as you see here, we don't boost, but that's perfectly fine. It still does a ton of damage. This is probably going to be a Wild Charge, so I'm going to Shield. Or if they're running Flame Charge, you don't want to eat a Flame Charge either, because that will one-shot you. Wild Charge goes through, our opponent switches into a Machamp. This is okay that it threw, because now I'm aware that there's a Machamp, so all we're going to do here is just switch to Hypno. This is why I love Hypno in this team. Hypno catches those poison and fighters in the back. And there's a lot of scenarios where Hypno can pretty much just confusion down or take a shield with Shadow Ball. Plus, Hypno does really well against those Lapras safe switches. If your opponent switches into Lapras, Hypno's got a really good matchup in the 2 shield with Thunder Punch. So, standard moveset here. Some people are running Focus Blast. You can do that as well. Focus Blast will OKO Alolan Muck, and it'll do a lot of damage against the Ice archetype, or Ice Water archetype, the Ice Water hybrids. As you see here, we're just going to go straight Thunder Punch. We're going to take out these Mew shields, do as much as we can. I'm going to let it go. So Hypno's going to go, but this is why Hypno's such an amazing safe switch. So again, it's that confusion damage adds up, and then Amuk does a lot of work against a lot of closing combinations. That, or you can Acid Spray or Dark Pulse to Oblivion. Our opponent Wild Charges here. I will throw the Thunder Punch. That's perfectly fine. I want that Confusion chunk damage. We still got literally a Ashrew in yellow. And we still got Alolan Muck. So we're vibing pretty dang hard right now. We get a freaking Nidoqueen. And this kind of sucks. Because when you get a Nidoqueen in the back, Shadow Nidoqueen can one-shot Alolan Muck with Earth Power. So we're going to do as much damage as possible. Or we're just going to pray we boost. Which at this moment, as you see, we get the boost. Let's go. May the boost be with you. And then on this day, the Grandmaster of Boost from the Jedi Boost Order decided to give us the boost on this day. And as you see, level 51 Best Buddy Alolan Sandshrew is able to clutch out. It's like the Warriors when Steph Curry's trying to throw a 3-pointer across half court. And then this will KO because it's +2. And that's GG's. I'm not gonna lie, for some odd reason, during this run, I didn't boost in a lot of win cons. I think there was only 6 battles out of, like, the entire 4 days. So, like, 6 out of 100 something is when the boost actually mattered. So, it was, like, it really sucked. I don't know if they nerfed it, but it's what it is. Here's an example of the mirror. As you see, you get Alolan Sandslash versus Alolan Sandshrew. Just go straight Night Slash. If you boost, it's amazing. But, like I mentioned, I really didn't have a lot of luck with the boost this time. I boosted more on the previous Kanto Cup than I did this Kanto Cup, which is nuts, because I'm like, wow, it's ranked. But as you see here, we don't get the boost. It is 60 energy, I believe, for Bulldoze, so just shield anyways. Most of the time, they'll nuke you. If not, just go for the Ice Punch, but you don't want to eat the Bulldoze. Yes, you can live 1, but you don't want to eat, like you see here, a Gyro Ball or a Bulldoze, so just shield. Go straight Night Slash when you're up against Alolan Sandslash, or basically if you get the mirror with Alolan Sandshrew, if whoever boosts first wins. As much as I hate to say it, unless you're like, you beat them by CMP. For example, you got the Best Buddy Sandshrew like I do, and you win CMP, then you can say, alright, I win, but other than that, whoever boosts first actually wins, so just keep that in mind. We're going to straight Night Slash here. I'm going to go down 2 shields, but that's perfectly fine. Or actually, no, I'm going to eat this one because I'm thinking, okay, you know what? I can live a Gyro Ball. And then I'm just going to farm down. As you see, Ashrew can eat a Gyro Ball pretty comfortably. Bulldoze, not really, so I would have been a little more careful in that scenario. And then we get a Primate, which is perfectly fine because we got our boy Hypno. So we got Hypno, and then as you see, we got Hypno on Amuk, which is perfectly fine. All we gotta do here is break both of Hypno's shields, and then we can Shadow Ball, and then all you have to do is Confusion / Thunder Punch, maybe, that Primate in the back for the dub. We're gonna Acid Spray here. This is dumb, but they shield. I should, honestly, going straight Dark Pulse would be a much safer play, but I guess what I was thinking here was like, you know what? If I get the debuff, then I could possibly Confusion down with my Hypno, or what I can do is just set you up for, like, Poison Jab farm down play, and then just put the Hypno in the back in a very bad spot. So, either way works. Poison Jab and Acid Spray will allow you to set up a lot of things. You'll see that later in the shoutcast where, like, Acid Spray's debuff can actually, like, benefit you, or you can create win cons from it. I used to run Snarl. Sludge Wave, this one was just a lot more fun. As you see, we called the bait, or I made them think, okay, they're gonna add spray. Nope, I'm going to Dark Pulse. Oh yeah, here's the, remember the example I was talking about? It's actually on this battle, so, quote, yeah, King of Charmander's kind of jacked up. Alright, so as you see here, Acid Spray goes off, and this Primeape is -2 on defense, so guess what? Confusion is going to hurt a lot. I throw in Hypno on the right time. Night Slash will not KO because Primeape doesn't get stabbed, and Hypno's pretty tanky. Night Slash goes up. Please don't get the freaking boost. And boost is not with you on this day. I train harder, and the force of the boost force is with me. You know what? That sounds cool because I'm a huge Star Wars nerd. Anyways, for the next battle, we do get a fellow legend, and we get Lapras onto Sandshrew. So here's an example of if you lose lead. If you lose lead in any fashion, whether it be Machamp against Alolan Marowak or Hero Lapras, say switch in a Hypno right away and try to take back switch or play it accordingly. Most of the time, you're going to straight Thunder Punch, or if they throw the Hypno Mirror into you, you're going to try to play it out and win that matchup by Shadow Balling through shields, or Thunder Punch baiting / Shadow Balling, whichever one, however it works for you. But that's the only way you really got it. If they have like an Alolan Muck and throw it into you, it's basically GG's. So again, as you see here, I'm throwing into Hypno. Sometimes players will stay in like you see with that Lapras, or they'll throw in their Pidgeot like this, and then you're going to Thunder Punch. I try to do a little extra right there, one extra confusion, because what's going to happen is that we're either going to get Brave Birded to death or they're going to Feather Dance me. We fire the Thunder Punch. We're going to do a decent amount of damage because Pidgeot isn't super bulky. And I'm thinking they're probably going to try to farm me down. And they do. But they win CMP in this fashion over here, so it's okay. We're just going to let Hypno go. Even though that Burb has a ton of energy, we're okay in this scenario. But again, if you do lose the lead, just say switch into Hypno and try to play it out. That's the basic premise for this team. The only time you will throw Amuk into something is if it's like a Lickitung or a Snorlax, just because you resist Lick. If they throw Lickitung XL into you as a safe switch, throw Alolan Muck into it instead of Hypno, just because Amuk has a very strong matchup and you can win straight Dark Pulse. So just keep that in mind. So if it is a Licker, if it licks, if you put it, don't put your hand up on their hip, but if it's really thick, and it licks, this is terrible. A terrible reference, I'm sorry. But make sure you, yeah, just throw Amuk into it. As you see here, we win Switch. Well, we don't win Switch because we lost against Pidgeot, but as you see, we had a pretty good, comfortable situation because this Lapras is so hurt. I'm gonna throw Alolan Sandshrew in here just because I want to farm this. I know this is crazy, but I really want to farm the crap out of this Lapras. As you see here, our Aishrew is going to have a bajillion energy. I love the fact that I made this thing go viral once because I'm so comfortable with playing it. We're going to shield the first surf, though, just so we preserve all this energy. And we get a Nidoqueen! Alright, so I should have Blizzarded here. Let's be serious. I should have Blizzarded because I would have been a much more epic shoutcast. But I went for the Night Slash just to disrespect the boost. And it would have been a lot better to do it that way because, like, you know what? You don't really want to, yeah. But it's okay, you know what? Like, you know what's funny? I sensed it, too. I was like, you know what? They're probably not going to shield if I Blizzard, but you know what? I went for this play anyways. So what I'm going to do here is, what I'm planning on doing is we're just going to straight Night Slash. We didn't boost, but that's perfectly fine because we should be able to do one more Night Slash. And even though we're debuffed like this, Alolan Sandshrew can still take a decent chunk of damage. So we're just gonna straight Night Slash. Again, Blizzard would have been the better play. I literally thought to myself, I'm like, why didn't I Blizzard? Like, my subconscious was like, Blizzard, you fool. But as you see here, because Alolan Sandshrew is such a beast, we're gonna basically be able to just, like, take out this Nidoqueen with Amuk's Poison Jabs just because those Powder Snows do so much damage. Poison Fang goes off, Nidoqueen goes down, and then all we're going to do is Poison Fang for the dub. I mean, Poison Jab for the dub. We're going to hit you with the 1-2, the 2-piece in the soda. For those of you UFC fans, Jorge Masvidal is a beast, and well, I fight too, and I compete in Jiu-Jitsu, so. Anyways, for the final battle, this one's pretty epic. If you get a Chansey or Lickitung XL, which one of the two big wigs in this new cup, the new big meta pushes, because, you know, XLs are freaking annoying. Straight Night Slash. What I usually do is straight Night Slash, but then it's, if you boost, it's good. If you don't boost, it's kind of bad. So you can try to Blizzard through shields. Most of the time, I will just Night Slash to victory, because what I'm going to do here is, depending on their IVs, Lickitung can actually win this. So this is a very ballsy move, but generally what I will do is just straight Night Slash. Blizzard is okay. Normally, if you Blizzard through shields, they won't shield it. But if you get the boost against Lickitung, it's totally worth it because as you see here, Body Slam and Power Whip are both resisted. So you should be pretty good. Night Slashes are going off and some... Remember how I told you I had terrible luck with the boost this season? I'm having terrible luck with the boost this season. So, as you see, Lickitung is just going to throw all 5 bajillion pounds of Flubber, or if you watch Flubber, it's a great movie. And we get a Hypno! So we got Hypno over here, and as you see, I timed that really wrong. I should have just went a little more, and then Night Slash, but it's okay. As you see here, Night Slash goes off, and it does a large amount of chip damage, and we still haven't boosted. WTF, man. And because of the, remember that confusion that went through I was talking about? Yeah, that really cost me. I would have been able to get to 1 more Night Slash had I timed my fast moves right. So you're gonna see a lot of problems that the, well, King of Charmander's misplayed, basically. We're going to throw Amuk into this Hypno just because we reduce these confusions, and of course, this thing has energy. So it's going to get to another Thunder Punch. We already know that, but we're going to try to farm it down. I have no idea what's in the back, so hopefully we're going to vibe pretty hard here. Thunder Punch does go off. Our Amuk is... Crayola Slime is really hurt right now, but we're going to go for the big farm down. And we get the big farm down. Now, here's the problem. We still got 2 Pokemon in the back. So, they're either going to throw whatever is in the back to me, or they're going to throw the Licki. And Licki is here. So, we're going to fire this Acid Spray. I should have Dark Pulse. Because what's happened is that they're probably not going to shield. And I was right! So, Dark Pulse would have been a lot better. But what we're going to do is we're going to Dark Pulse now. It's going to break a shield, or we're going to Dark Pulse off. And then we're going to have to contend with whatever's in the back. I'm going to switch here, though, because I don't want to, like, I don't want Amuk to get farmed down, and we get an Alolan Marowak. This is terrible. Remember how King of Charmander's misplayed a bunch before this match? So, this is very rough. Extremely rough because there's only 1 win condition here. This is probably a Shadow Bone. I will shield it, and hopefully we don't get debuffed. But I'm going to straight Thunder Punch and try to break all these shields. So, as you see here, I'm trying to get extra confusions through, but my timing is a little off, so I'm just going to Thunder Punch. That's why I decided Thunder Punch. We have to break both shields, and all I'm going to do is, honestly, just straight Thunder Punch. In the 2-2s, you're going to lose unless you have energy lead, or you're going to pull off what I'm about to show you. For those of you who've been watching for a while, you know I'm a wizard. And 2, I'm not even counting moves. Actually, I was counting a little bit. I was like... going into my subconscious, and I was like, I was asking the Force. I was like, boost Force, show me the way. Show me the win condition. So we're just going to straight Thunder Punch here, but here's what's going to happen. I'm going to shield the second move, and I kind of... Oh, actually, no, watch, here's the sack. Because I already shielded the second move. As you see, remember, I called upon the Force. My subconscious is so powerful, and I'm a god at sack swapping. So we eat the Shadow Bow. We catch it with the Amuk that was supposed to lose, and then we're just going to Thunder Punch for the victory. Actually, I'm pretty sure it lives 1, but as you see, that was pretty sick. I'm just that good at... I'm so good subconsciously at, like, sack swapping that I'm not even thinking about doing. I'm like, okay, it's time. It's time to... No, okay, wrong franchise. And that's GG's. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I would have shown you how much I lagged. I have like multiple screen recordings of me lagging during this season, but I still didn't like it. After maintenance, I still lagged. So for this set, the set that took me a legend, I actually went like 2-3, 3-2, 3-2, and then I had 1 set banked from the previous day. That set I went 4-1, and that clutched me to literally just 3,000 elo, like you see here. So it was a really rough day. I had a lot of problems, and I had, like, you know how the app closes when you start the battle. I had that during the day I was trying to get to legend on this day, and it was really annoying. I didn't think I would make it. I honestly didn't think. I was going to play it out anyways to see if it was worth it. I couldn't play. Basically, the story of me with this season was I couldn't play for the... Well, I could play for the first 6 weeks, but it was always lagging. So I had to find multiple win conditions, and I would be behind fast moves, or like I would have literally this enough energy to like clutch out the matchup or find win conditions. Lag nowadays doesn't emotionally make me angry, or it doesn't affect me mentally, just because I'm a therapist. So, like, you know, I pretty much cognitive behavioral therapize the crap out of myself for PvP. Not to say that it's not good, because, you know, if I can fully predict there will be problems during regionals and during worlds. So with the game state as it is, PvP desperately needs to be fixed. It's coming around 2 years. 2 years since Go Battle League's release. 3 years if you've been playing PvP since the beginning. And it's, you know, it's funny, like in the beginning it actually worked a hell of a lot more than it does now. And that's what really ruined the legitimacy of the game. A lot of you probably left PvP because it doesn't work. I don't leave because I'm signed to an esports team and I really want to represent my really want to represent my team because we do so well in other games. In Rocket League, we had the basically like the Olympics for Rocket League, and my organization took 3rd place. We got beat out by North America and Canada, but their ping is almighty. But you know, a bronze medal out of every other country is pretty dang good to represent Brazil. And our Gears of War team, which is an amazing group of people. I went to Vegas with them. If you saw that on my Twitter page, we got to have so much fun. I got to see them perform, and they took 6. Right now, they're a top 3 team. They're number 3 in the standings for Gears of War 5. So I really want to represent. I just want to have some fun, but most of all, I want to represent my team. Because, you know, if you're signed to a brand, you're good at game. But for my run over here, I actually didn't switch teams. I didn't switch teams a lot just to like see the probability of luck, and I used the same teams for most of the entire runs for every cup that I went through. I used the same team for Ultra, the same team for Ultra Premier Classic, same team for Great League, same team for Halloween Cup. I did not switch. So I do that just to challenge myself to master a team outright without knowing anything, and it makes me better. But I still didn't like it because, of course, you've been lagging so much. So it's just like, it's absolutely terrible. And I really emphasize with all of you that are having a hard time. The only reason I made it is because Kanto Cup is really my best cup. I have a lot of practice with this team because if you watch me stream on the previous season, I've used this team before. That's why I'm so comfortable with it. So on the previous season, on the last time Kanto Cup was around, I played this team and did exceedingly well with it. And it didn't change for this season. So I climbed 400 plus points to make Legend, despite the fact I lost about 1,500 from, 1,000, that's right, 1,500. That's how many points I lost because the game didn't work. It cost me a lot of 4-1s, it cost me a lot of 5-0s, and a lot of positive sets where I should have went 3-2 or higher, went to like 2-3s or 1-4s. I very rarely 0-5, and I 0-5 the most this season just because I either lagged out of it or I just had really terrible luck. Most of the time it was actually lag. So, you know, when you try to salvage that one win just so you don't 0-5 and then all of a sudden you get that weak connection, it's what it is. But that's my story for Legend. Just keep trying. I encourage you guys to give it a shot. If you've already been playing till now, you might as well see it through. That's what I always do. If I'm going to do something, I see it through. So I was really prepared to play the rest of the season and do all my sets. Now I can kind of relax and I can do a lot more and focus a lot more on battling content rather than trying to battle through the storm of lag and trying to make Legend that way. So for those of you still trying to make it, I have complete and total faith in you. Congrats if you did make it. We made it through literally the most hellacious season of all time. If I never lagged, I would have made it like 2 months ago or like within the first month. That's how bad it was. Because when you go through the beginning of the season and you battle, your results count towards your climb before you get your elo. So I did terrible. Well, I didn't do terrible, but I barely floated around like 60%. I could have went higher just because I was lagging so much. But I do empathize with you guys. Do your best. Do your hardest. Try your best. And there's always a next season if you don't make Legend this season. And let's just pray Worlds works. I am a therapist though, so because of that, I have a lot of things to do, so I'm not sure if I will participate in Worlds just because there's no Worlds in the West Coast. Everything's literally either in Canada or like the East Coast, so I'll probably participate in one, but my job comes first. The mental health is really bad right now because of the pandemic, and I have a job to do, so my job is far more important than playing a video game, and I want to create content for you guys, but I likely will participate in regionals, but I'm gonna have to really work around it so that I can still make sure my clients are covered and then everything is fine because I am a clinic and school-based therapist. Anyways, I'm talking long enough. I hope you guys enjoyed my story on Legend. I hope it encourages you despite all the lag and crap that we've been through, all the freaking like missed moves, all missing the moves in the beginning, all the weak connections, you can still make it. That's what happened for me in Season 7. I didn't make Legend Season 8 because I didn't really care. I stopped caring. And then now Season 9, because Season 9 is where you qualify for Worlds or the regionals, early registration. That's why I even cared. But I've been talking long enough. If you do me a huge favor, please like and subscribe. It's totally free. You can easily subscribe by going to the bottom right. There's that little sub tab right there. Put your mouse over it, and boom, you can easily subscribe. I really appreciate my current subscribers. Good luck on your Go Battle system for everyone that still had faith in me. I have faith in you. You can still make it throughout all this living, lagging hell. Give it a shot. See it through the end. Do your battles. And come out as a legend regardless of whether you make it or not. At least you can say you did everything and you tried your best, which I tried my best this season, so yeah. But Kanto Cup is my best cup. Anyways, good luck on your Go Battle League sets, and I will see you guys on the next video.
じゃ